Make.Test.Battle, just educational enough. I'm Ryan, and this is the first video in a series that we're going to be doing on how to make your flywheel blaster more accurate. Over the course of this series, we're going to be taking a bunch of different products, a bunch of different theories, and putting them to the test with statistically accurate sample sizes to find out just what you can do to make your flywheel blaster more accurate. This is a 3D printed flywheel cage from Hawki007. Will be for sale soon that I have 3D printed early access with canted motor mounts. We'll angle the flywheels and hopefully give the darts a bit of backspin.
Rifling spin.
Yeah, whatever. The idea is
the back flipping darts.
The idea is that this flywheel cage is made to spin the darts, which is meant to give it more accuracy. I can test that that doesn't give it more accuracy, but you know what? We're here to find out. This cage is also meant to be printed with a brass guide. Unfortunately, we don't have the right size brass here at the moment, so I'm just going to test it with the flywheels, see how that goes. In a follow-up video to this, we will be mounting this cage with the guide inside a strife, but this is just a quick test. We also have these 180 motors. These are a 3240 motor. I believe these are called blades. More powerful. They have a lot more torque than the 130 motors. I'm testing these because Make.Test.Battle is considering releasing a 180 line. I haven't done a 180 before and I've never actually used them. So this is my first time using a 180 motor. So if this goes well, then there might be a 3S 180 motor coming out in the future. Let's get to it and see how we go. Alright, so the first part of this is to prepare these motors. Blade 3240s. In the packet, they come with a little bit of extra stuff on the outside. Capacitors and some stuff like that, which I believe is for noise removal of the electrical signal. But that's not something we really need to concern ourselves. The main issue is this, is a small little gear, because these are designed for helicopters. So we need to take this off. Now we can't just grab it and yank it because this coil here just be hitting the inside of the shell and we might potentially damage that. So we need to be a little bit creative with this. Grip it nice and tight. There we go. All right, so to finish this off, we will just grab this and give it a pull. Oh, come on. There we go. Now the next step is to take the soldering iron and remove all of these extra little blibby blobs, because we don't really need these. Alright, so we'll just start by desoldering these capacitors on the side here. No use to us. I'm not an expert on this, but I believe it's so that inrush current, i.e. the stall current, when you turn the motors on, is moderated. You can use lower quality batteries, or not so much lower quality, just lower discharge rate batteries, and you won't come up with problems. You know, I'm sure someone, if they know the actual answer, can correct me, but that's what I think it is. So just to show off the size difference here, we're comparing the 180 motor with a 130 motor, and you can see that the can is quite significantly longer. Let's mount them in the flywheel and solder them up. Different process from a normal cage, because it's printed quite loose. So what we need to do is put them in and then use these two screw holes to retain the motors. So in the packet with these motors come two really tiny little screws. I hope these work, because if they don't, we don't really have an alternative. So, success. All right, so my first little comment or suggestion on this cage is that these screw holes need to be chamfered. Screws don't stick proud of the surface.
In case they interact with the
exactly. So the screws, don't touch the flywheels. All right, that's one in, and this few moments should show you just the angle, so to speak. That guy in. And there's a little bit of junk in this hole from the print, so I might have to clean this one up. We'll see. Alrighty, so that is our two 180s installed, and you can see quite the angle on them. I'm not exactly sure what this angle is. I could measure it, or I could just ask Hawkeye. But either way,
we'll pop it up on the screen with the magic of editing.
With the magic of editing, it'll appear right on my eye. Please don't put it on my eye, Justin.
You've got degree eye now. Too late.
Next step, we're just going to solder these up, nice and standard.
Back to basics with a motor can't. Is that long enough?
Yeah. This wire is so cheap, I have no qualms about wasting it.
But Ryan, you're using red wire for both the positive and the negative.
Actually, that was a question that came up on Reddit the other day. Someone asked, what color wire are you meant to use for the positive and negative? And of course, you know, everyone who knew the actual answer to that just sort of had a bit of a giggle, because it's like, you know, it's not like the color of the wire makes a difference, but you know, this guy didn't realize that. He thought that black wire was special negative only wire. Or at least that's what it seemed like in his comments. So I was having a bit of a chuckle, and so it kind of amuses me that I'm using red for both the positive and the negative for this build.
But if we use positive for both, that'll positive means gaining.
Yeah.
More gains.
More power.
We're
More.
putting in double the power. It's been wrong all along. We need to put in more electrons into the system, not take them away. All this negativity has been drawing us down. I think we're making some groundbreaking science here today.
It's alright. One of the red wires identifies as black. You can cut that bit out.
Trans-ethnic.
We have a trans negative. This little bit here. Cut that bit out.
That was Ryan's feeble attempts at a fart. Barely audible, kind of Australian are you? Ew.
Make.Test.Battle, not above fart jokes. Fart jokes and racism. This week on Make.Test.Battle.
So culturally insensitive.
Here. Zipping out.
Because I said so.
Because
Yo, mama.
God.
Oh, that we had that comment the other day of, it's in God's name.
Oh yeah, we had a great comment. You know, someone basically said, "Don't use the Lord's name in vain." That was sort of funny, because I couldn't give a flying fuck about using the Lord's name in vain.
Well, it's not our Lord. We didn't vote for him.
Ow. That was fake burning myself. It's okay. So one of the things I've just noticed, which is a small little oversight or design flaw with this cage, is that it doesn't have the holes so that you can push 2 screwdrivers through to remove the flywheels. If you have a look at the original flywheel cage, you have these big holes on the side, and those are really helpful because when the flywheels are on, you can press through from the back to push off the flywheels. With this cage, there's no way you can do that, so the only way you can remove flywheels from this once they're on is to just try and lever them off, which is no good. So that,
Pull them off with pliers and strip the plastic.
yeah, exactly.
With this beta testing, this is how
exactly.
how we improve.
So I'm just going to finish up the actual circuit with the lipo plug, because I'm not sure which way these are going to spin, so I might have to swap the plug around. So strip, twist. That's some terrible twisting.
I believe in you.
Have we got a battery, like just a 9 volt? We're going to ghetto test.
That is not the question to ask me. You can ask me more philosophical questions.
It needs to go this way forward, so it needs to spin away from this one.
It's going the other way.
Yeah, that's going the wrong way. So we need to have the negative connected to, yeah. So the negative needs to be connected to the switch end. Cool. That is how you should test your circuit, because alkaline batteries like this have a very low voltage, only 1.5 volts, and that's easily enough to allow you to see the motors to spin. and it's much safer than using a lipo, because if you've made any sort of error in your circuit, this will be much more forgiving in terms of short circuits and damage.
And knowing is half the battle.
Exactly. Negative is the curved one.
So shiny. Fill it up with metal.
Heat shrink.
Da-da-da-da.
I forgot a heat shrink. Because there is no consistency on Make.Test.Battle.
What is this upload schedule you speak of?
Let me just, fuck it.
Justin's.
Oh, god damn it. I always friggin' do this.
What a twist.
Should have a rule, never solder the switch on before the terminal. I hate having kinky wire. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Call 1-800-KINKY-WIRE for some kinky wire fun.
Ah, I forgot the heat shrink again. This week on Ryan Forgets Heat Shrink, all of Make.Test.Battle.
Oh, this is riveting entertainment.
Yeah. Hey,
This is like YouTube drama.
people watch live stream Truck Simulator, so if people want to watch me solder, you know, more,
Dude. Twitch modding stream.
that could be fun.
Is that something you want to see? Let us know in the comments.
Or don't. We'll do it anyway. Hell, I might do this one live on Twitch. That could be fun.
We stream a mod party. It's almost like a...
Not bad. God, that revs up quickly.
Do you like it?
No, I hate 180s. 180s are terrible and I hate them.
That thing? What 180s are entirely unnecessary.
They're completely unnecessary and no one would ever want one ever, and...
Because you have to cut the shell.
Exactly.
And so, yes, 130s all the way.
Exactly.
I did the math and the physics on it, and the torque was enough.
Shut up. Yeah, no, these are cool. I've just never liked the covers, and if I think I could find a nice cover to go on the side, like a good 3D printed model, then I'd definitely be jumping into bed with these motors, because just based off this 15 minutes of playing around,
Since Hawki he did the clear covers for Bobololo, he did a video about the clear covers that he 3D printed and then he resin cast. The point of that was so he could show off his Dr. Snickers flywheel cage.
Yeah.
If you're custom printing flywheel cages, you can make them all different funky colors or stuff like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Either way,
That's the future. Hydro dip the flywheel cage.
we could do the world's first carbon fiber flywheel cage. See, this is the part where if we were mocking someone, we'd normally say, no.
Careful,
You didn't see that.
You were saying that these are actually supposed to be 2S motors?
So these motors are 3240s and they're meant to be run off a 2S battery, but this is a 3S that's probably a little bit flat. Most of these I just bought and they're probably flat. So 11.5. Yeah, it's not fully charged. I could get a 2S, but I don't have high discharge 2S's, and even this is pushing it. This is not enough discharge rate for these motors. These definitely need a 60 amp stall. These could only kick out 35 amps. The motor performance will be limited by this battery. I mean, it's only for a fraction of a second that's pulling 30 amps, but we can always do better. Either way, the point is, they're spinning, they rev up insanely quickly, and
Beyblades! What just happened?
that was really cool. I hope Justin got that on camera. That was awesome. I hadn't pushed it on far enough, so.
We're gonna put a dart in it?
Oh yeah.
Ugh, sounds like it's clipping.
I think it's just rattling ever so slightly. Cover your butts. Do remember this is designed to have a brass follower.
Jesus.
Now, here's the unfortunate part. I don't know where my chronograph is, but I could tell you that these are definitely around the really high 120 mark. You know, that was...
This is getting close to the glass ceiling.
Well, this is glass ceiling. The reason people want to use this cage though will be for accuracy. And of course we're going to need to go and get some brass because that's how it's meant to be sold. When we've solved all those problems, we will try and do a very consistently, statistically accurate, clamped, vice-mounted comparison of a backspin or spin or whatever you want to call it cage and a standard flywheel cage.
If we want to get really technical, we could maybe work out with Hawki, do the model cantering at different degrees.
That would be interesting.
Obviously, see if we could actually plot that out on enough, that kind of data. Because we want to find the p-value.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we need to do the statistics on this, not just I'm going to shoot one mag, come up with some dots, and then say, oh look, this one's better. That's not how statistics works. We need to shoot, you know, a couple of hundred darts through each one, record their displacement, and go from there. So that'll be interesting. We'll have to do a much bigger video on that, but for now, this cage, yeah, it's definitely a cage. It definitely gets the performance, even if it doesn't work in terms of more accuracy, it definitely works as a cage.
My only other thought, get Hawki to do a variant to fit in the modulus and then fit multiple into the modulus.
That's actually where I see this going, and it's an idea I've had kicking around in my head that I've never been bothered to implement. But if you were to take this cage and just copy and paste and then copy and paste it, you could 3D print an afterburnered kit to
perfectly aligned as one piece.
Perfectly aligned. You're not going to have any issues. You just get your brass guide, slot it in, and you're ready to rock.
Because Matt tried it.
Yeah.
So our local guys, we had Matthew tried it. I think Robert tried it. I think someone else also
Cash tried it.
Yeah.
And Liam tried it.
Yeah.
We've had 4 attempts at afterburnered blasters. One of them worked sometimes. But if you don't have those cages perfectly aligned, if the dart impacts the flywheel and then is pulled through, you lose all of the advantage that you would have otherwise gained. So
it needs to be perfectly aligned.
It needs to be perfect. With 3D printed and with a brass insert, that would be incredible. All right, so to wrap up, I think this has the potential to be either really cool or exactly the same. I think these 180 motors are fantastic. I don't like the fact that you'll have to cut shells open, but you know, for people who want that, go for it. These 3240s are difficult to find nowadays, and when you can find them, they're quite expensive. And so we'll be looking into getting a high torque 3S voltage 180 motor soon. And when we get some samples, we'll make a separate video on those, but hopefully we can bring back the 180. As we mentioned before, this product is made by a guy called Hawki007, and he also has a YouTube channel. Check it out in the description. I think he's got some testing of this. He's got some other stuff, which is also really cool. And not gonna lie, I've stolen a couple of these ideas before. So another thing that Hawki does is he actually sells his parts on Etsy, but he doesn't sell 3D printed models. His thing is he actually takes those and casts them. So they're nice resin cast parts. They're not 3D printed. So anyway, check them out. Links are in the description, and I can't wait to do some more testing with this.
Collaborations through science.
You know, I just want to make a note that in this day and age, you know, someone in Texas, I think, came up and designed this model and then, you know, emailed it to me 15,000 kilometers away. I used my 3D printer and now we're making a video that he'll watch. It boggles the mind that, you know, something like this is an idea, gets replicated with a machine on the bench and then tested, sent around the world, and I have this physical part that he dreamed up, and, you know, we've never met and we probably never will.
Maybe next year's Nation vs Zombie.
That'd be cool. I hope, and I think we all hope, that if Make.Test.Battle, if this channel, we can get this big enough that we can actually start to, you know, think about planning to come to the States to do an event like a POC, you know, something like that, Nation vs Zombies or something. It would be a fantastic opportunity and I'd jump at it, but we'd have to grow the channel a lot more before then. Either way, thanks for watching, and if you feel like helping us on the path to coming to Nation vs. Zombies sometime in the future, subscribe, share, like, you know the deal. Bye.
Bye!
This fly.
There it is. No! Now we... Oh!
Watch out, I'm gonna flick it.
But now you put silicone on the MDF.
Extra lubrication. You need to lube your wood. Of course it doesn't want to cooperate. Ah, fuck, got my hand. Back on topic.
There's a topic to
No,
this.
it wasn't a topic. No, what's there? Join me for the ride.
That wasn't enthusiastic.
Join me for the ride if you want to. I don't know. You could. Yeah.